Broadcasting from my humble studio in downtown Savannah. Welcome to Hey Chip Lane, I Want to Be an Actor Too. Hey actors, I am your host, Chip Lane, actor, co-owner of First City Films, writer, producer, and welcome to my podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. So I wanted to warm up by doing a solo podcast before I started bringing on some really great guests to talk about the business of acting. So for my first podcast, I wanted to talk about something near and dear to my heart, and that is something every actor needs. First, your door opener if they're good, your calling card, and that is your headshot. Now, I say this is near and dear to my heart because I am a headshot photographer. I have been doing it for well over 10 years, probably near 15 years. I love photography. I love taking headshots, and I hate looking at bad headshots. So I got into headshot photography because there was a need here in Savannah. There was no headshot photographer here in Savannah, and there were more actors popping up. I always loved taking interesting pictures, and I thought, well, I'll learn to do it for free, and I will take free pictures for a while and see if I'm any good. And guys, I'm still learning. I'm still learning photography. I'm still learning about cameras. There's new cameras and new technology coming out, and you have to keep learning if you're a photographer. I don't care if you're a cinematographer or a photographer or any other type of in the film business. You have to learn and keep learning. But if you are pursuing an acting career, and as an actor, you need headshots, and then you need better headshots until you get crazy famous, and then you don't need headshots. If you're new to acting, please listen to me very carefully on these next few minutes. First, don't spend hundreds of dollars on your very first headshot. And I'm saying that because I'm a photographer. I'm just repeating myself now, but I charge a good bit of money for headshots. But I'm telling you not to, okay? If you're a first-time actor, do not spend a lot of money on your first headshot. That is unless you are so bitten by the bug that you know this is it, and you're never going to give up. So when you're first starting out and you don't have an agent, then your first headshot can be taken by your friend or family member with a good phone. But I'm going to give you some tips on how to use your phone to shoot almost as good as I do. Now, notice I said almost as good. There's no way you're going to be getting my results on your phone. Anyway, lighting is the key, okay? I don't mean standing in the sun, but your face needs great light. And there's no better source than the big red ball God gave us. Okay, here's the first tip. Take your picture on a well-lit but cloudy day. That is to say, not some horrible overcast rainy day, but when the sun is still beaming but covered with a lot of clouds. It's still just mostly cloudy. And the reason I say that is because clouds are another one of God's great inventions, creations. So they filter the sunlight so you aren't squinting, and that's why I say that, unless you want to buy some flags and C-stands and all that kind of mess, which you don't do and you shouldn't do. You need to use the clouds as your filtering source, okay? You don't want to be squinting. You want to see your eyes. Casting directors, casting agents, talent agents, they want to see your eyes because, as everyone says, they are the windows to your soul. Stand under a porch on a bright sunny day, but get the light in your eyes. Never stand under a tree or anything else that's going to cast shadows on your face. Natural light is best for headshots because it treats your skin better and it makes your eyes pop. And that's the next thing. Your eyes must pop. Can't be any shadows or cover anything covering your eyes. Even if you're using your cell phone, you can still make your eyes pop. Have your friend get close to you. This is a headshot. We don't care about your pants. We don't care if there's a cool fountain behind you or if there's a brick wall. Please don't stand in front of a brick wall. Oh my gosh. We need to see your eyes. I know of professional photographers that still haven't mastered capturing the eyes, and somehow they still make money. Have your friend stand so close to you that your head basically, it's your head to your chest, okay? It still fills the frame. Set your phone to portrait mode. Most cell phones now have portrait mode. Find it. And do automatic white balance. Then just have fun. Play with angles. Find out which is your best side. Pretend to be a character. Pick one. You know, there's lots of characters on TV and television. Have fun. Try to be a character. The next point, so whether you're shooting with a friend or a $400 photographer, you need to dress for whatever character you think is best fits you, okay? So if you know that you're the all-American guy or the all-American girl, or maybe you're a funny-looking guy or a funny-looking girl, play with that. You know that you might get cast that way. You got to start building your brand now, okay? Stay away from crazy patterns with clothes, though. Stay away from bright clothes. If you're dealing with a pro like me, they should be looking at photos of you in advance and advising you on your colors and outfits, and that's what we do. Outfits and angles, and I'm telling you, you got to find your best side. More than likely, if it's going to be the side that you part your hair on, but maybe not. The first thing we at First City Films do is look at your clothes and take sample shots, and we find your best angles. Now, you can do this with your cell phone too. Just get a bunch of clothes together. I wouldn't say a whole bunch, but some of your favorite shirts or shirts with jackets or shirts with sweaters, and hold them up in front of you. Have someone take your picture with them, and then just kind of go back and look at them and say, well, maybe not that one, or yeah, that kind of works. And does it fit with this character? So play around a little bit. Play some music. Play around. Again, have fun, because the casting director who looks at this headshot, or the talent agent that looks at this headshot, needs to see some personality. They need to see some character in you. So let's talk about commercial versus theatrical, because there's two different types of headshots. Even if you're doing this on your phone, you need a commercial shot. Okay, one that's either showing you smiling, or one that's where you're just smiling with your eyes. And a theatrical shot is the Mona Lisa shot, and I'll explain that in a second. My first headshot, my first great headshot, I should say, I was able to use for both commercial and theatrical, because I had the photographer really caught something in my eye I was able to use it. I was kind of grinning. I didn't have a big toothy grin, and that's okay. If you do, that's fine too. Some agents want that, especially if they do more commercials than non-commercials. More commercials than film and television. It's that smile that says, I love this product and I can make others believe it. It's welcoming, it's warm. It says, I'll hold your hand through the sale. It's all of that. It's really something in the eyes. It's not a squinty laugh, although it may be a good picture of you. And guys, I see headshots from photographers, and they're just good pictures of the people, but they're not headshots. They don't show any character. They don't show any personality. They're just good pictures of the people. So make sure you clearly understand what I'm trying to say on that. And you can have an agent look at it, even if you don't have an agent yet. You can submit some pictures, and are these the kind of pictures that you would like to see from me or my child? Most agents will be glad to do that, even though they don't represent you. They might take a minute or so out of their day to do that. So the shot must be a clear shot of your open eyes with a warm, welcoming smile. Now, the Mona Lisa I was talking about. Every time I have a new client come in, we're taking their pictures. We explain this process, and it's something that was explained to me by my first agent, and it's really something that I've looked into, and when Angelique and I shoot people, we explain it to them too. It's Mona Lisa is, if you look at the painting, go Google it right now if you haven't seen, if you don't know what it is. Mona Lisa is a very famous painting, but in that picture, you can't really tell if she's about to laugh or jump through the painting and stab someone. So it's just that serenity, that expression, that there's something going on there. It's the symmetry between the eyes and the nose and the mouth, and it's a great character face. It's that face that you want on your theatrical shot. That's the one. One agent should be able to look at it in one way and say, oh, they could be an evil rapist, or the other guy could say, oh, I see them as a loving hero. It's a perfect triangle with a lot going on in the eyes. And guys, that's the Mona Lisa, and you want that in your headshot for your theatrical headshot. Good photographers will try to get this from you by having a conversation with you about this before and during the session. You should be talking with your photographer, or they should be talking with you, trying to coach you through the session trying to get you through the session and get that shot from you. So those are the two main shots you want, whether you are a veteran or just starting out. You want a Mona Lisa shot and a great commercial shot too, whether it's smiling or whether it's a closed-lipped, wonderful, smiling eyes kind of thing. Here's some other helpful hints and tips. Don't let anyone shoot you at some crazy angle. No one wants to see half of your face. No one wants to see you looking up or down. Your photographer should almost be eye level with you. The looking up from the ground kind of thing it's distorting your face, and you're not going to walk into an audition like that. But you need to be eye level with your photographer, whether you're on the phone or whether it's the professional photographer. Have your shots cropped 8x10. That's the standard. No crazy or distracting jewelry. No bright or distracting lipstick or makeup. And don't over Photoshop. And I say over Photoshopping because it's okay to knock out a zit or a cut that's going to go away in a couple of days, but don't knock out a mole that's permanent or a permanent scar. Don't give yourself some weird glow. Don't if you walk into the reason I say all this is because if you walk into a casting director or they see an audition tape and you look so different from the headshot that your agent has submitted, they're going to go, nope, immediately. Bam. I've done it as a casting director. I've actually told an agent, don't submit that headshot to me ever again, because I know that person and I know they don't look like that. Over photoshopping and making your skin look like it's some sort of gelatin-like thing is just gross, for one thing, and then it just doesn't represent you. You have to be yourself. Yeah, I actually, and don't, if you have tattoos, make sure that you have tattoos. You have tattoos in your photos in your shot. Don't Photoshop them out. Don't cover them up. I was actually on the set of a commercial one time, and the director fired a girl because she had tattoos on her arm, and this was a summer thing, and they didn't have anything to cover up her arms, and they didn't want to cover up her arms. You have to submit what you look like. And as a casting director, I've actually gone on social media to find out what people really do look like when I've seen a headshot that kind of looks questionable. Trust me, casting directors will do that. Okay, last tip here. So make 4 copies of each of your 2 headshots, okay? All should be 300 DPI, and that's dots per inch. One is just your headshot. Save it as, Bob Smith. And then your commercial shot. Then shrink it down so you have 2. Once you're obviously 8x10 and your name. Then shrink that down to 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches and label that one as your name with commercial shot or theatrical shot, and then web. So it's Chip Lane, commercial shot, web. Chip Lane, theatrical shot, web. The reason I say that is because that's the one you're going to be emailing to people, and that's the one you're going to be uploading when you upload it to sites like Actors Access and IMDb and whatnot, because it's still 300 DPI, but it takes less time to email. Trust me, as a casting director, which I've done numerous times, you don't want to be trying to download a headshot because they haven't taken the time to knock it down to 1.5. Just saying. Then put a frame. Then you go back to your headshots, both of them. You put a little frame around it, preferably white, and then you can put your name on it. So you label that. You actually put your name on the headshot, so you can see it on the headshot, and then you save that one with a different name. You need to have those 4 so you can submit them and people can see what you look like without the name, and then again shrink one down and call it the web, and do the same for all the theatrical shots too. If you don't know how to do this, reach out to me at firstcityfilms.com or go into YouTube and look up adding text to your pictures. There's probably about 13 videos on that. I've looked it up once. So moving on. I think I've covered some basics here, but the last thing I wanted to leave you with before is before hiring a photographer, whether it be me or anyone else, please investigate them before you throw cash at them. Look at their headshot gallery, go online, do some searches. Don't necessarily look at comments that people have made on social media, because you're talking about people who don't really know what they're talking about. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just a fact. They're not casting directors. They're other actors or friends and family. Do they have light in their eyes? Do they look over photoshopped or unnatural skin tones or anything like that? Is their skin off color because the photographer doesn't know how to white balance? Look at those things, because if you see someone and you actually know that person, you're like, wow, their skin's not really orange. No one's skin should be orange or yellow. That means the photographer didn't white balance correctly. Or the shadows on the face. Do their eyes pop? Now your eyes have to pop. I could go on, but those are the points you need to investigate. If you have any questions on this or any other acting information, you can contact me through First City Films. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, and I am on IMDb. So, guys, I really appreciate you listening. The next episode, I'm going to have an actress named Erin Burns. She's an actress and an acting coach in Atlanta, Georgia. Very successful with her coaching career. I would love for you to listen in. Please hit the like icon and subscribe. Ring the bell or whatever, how you do that on YouTube, if that's on YouTube, for more episodes. I really appreciate you listening, guys. Don't forget to watch our first feature film, Untouched, that's streaming online. It's on Amazon Prime, it's on iTunes, it's on Tubi, which is free with ads on it, Vudu, other streaming services. And this has been Hey Chip Lane. I want to be an actor too. Sláinte.
Me, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am.